1 month ago, 4 humiliated pet owners came seeking help and advice from the Pet Shame Clinic, headed up by vet Mark Abraham. Have their tailor-made plans turned the petty problems around? Dick and Phil were a pair of stinky terrapins, living a rotten life in a foul, festering tank. They've since been upgraded to a luxury home. Time to test if healthy living has put an end to their reptilian whiff.
So have you noticed a difference in the smell?
They don't smell really anymore.
So it's gone?
It's a success. It's amazing.
Can I have a sniff and see?
Yes.
Oh, look at you. Hello. He smells much better. It doesn't smell like what he smelled like last time.
No, there's no smell at all.
No.
I mean, even just here, they seem a lot brighter and more active, more keen to interact with their environment.
Yeah.
Previously, Dick and Phil were rotting away, leaving them decidedly flaky.
The shell looks a lot better, doesn't it?
It does. It's such a joy to sort of feel like I'm giving them the right environment as well. They're a bit more of a feature rather than this sort of shame in the corner.
You know, taking on a terrapin is a commitment. They're not an ideal first pet, but they make a fantastic pet if you're prepared to put in the time, the effort and the money to look after them properly.
Dick and Phil now look forward to a long and happy life. But to show just how easy it is to get things wrong, we've lined up a couple of terrapin show homes.
Right, we've got 2 tanks here. One is a good one and one is a bad one. I've got to be honest, my first thought is I really like the colour. It's really pretty, this one is.
This is Terrapins in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Fun.
This tank may appeal to our human sense of fun, but it spells deadly danger for terrapins who can't tell the difference between interior design and feeding time. They'll nibble at whatever is put in their path, even if it's toxic.
All these things can clog them up and will eventually kill them.
And plastic plants aren't terrapin friendly.
The older a terrapin gets, the more it relies on actually eating vegetation in the tank. It needs plants, and those plants need to oxygenate the water as well. What strikes me most about this tank is the fact that kids would probably nag and nag and nag until they got everything they wanted.
The good tank is fitted with a water heater, filter, real plants, and the correct depth of water.
This closely resembles their natural environment, OK, rather than Las Vegas next door, which is pretty detrimental.
This must be underwater love, the way I feel it sleeping all over me.
And when it comes to terrapin property purchase, size is also important.
We always see terrapins sort of in the shop when they're tiny and cute, and that's why people buy them. They do actually grow to 40 centimetres in width, which is the size of like a dinner plate. So, yeah, they will eventually need a much bigger tank.
So, when Dick and Phil are ready to move up the terrapin property ladder, Anna knows to steer clear of Vegas and keep it real. Pet micro pig Rupert was offending noses with his hog breath.
Rupert, stink.
Examinations revealed no underlying medical conditions, putting his halitosis down to a taste for foul foodstuffs. It's not been the greatest pet shame success story. Rupert's breath still smells, and underwhelmed by his return to the clinic, he's refusing to budge from his cosy position in the boot. Hi, Dania. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Well, we're coming out here to see Rupert in the car because he's actually refusing to come into the clinic. I don't blame him, to be honest. If I could be lying down in the car, I think I would.
Absolutely, looks pretty cosy in there.
He does, doesn't he? So do you feel quite happy with just leaving Rupert to have slight bad breath?
Well, I think it's something we're going to have to live with.
Yeah.
The only way you'd really do anything about it is if that bad breath made him feel so bad that it put him off his food.
Yeah,
but he's clearly not stopped eating.
I don't think that will ever happen.
And that's the biggest signal, really, to his well-being.
Good.
But with Rupert's breath due to eating rotten foodstuffs, Mark wants to take the opportunity to give out some piggy healthy living tips. Rupert has been enjoying chomping on rotten apples, but 25% of a pig's diet should be made up of fresh fruit and vegetables.
You've got your celery, your peppers, you've got your cucumber, your carrots, then you've got other things like raisin, apple, grapes that you can actually use for treats and for training purposes.
So what sort of treats shouldn't you give pigs?
Well, you should never give your pig treats like chocolate, like salty snacks, anything sort of meat-related, too high in protein.
And don't be misled by the term micro. All pigs are classed as livestock.
Remember, micro pigs You know, they're not a species, it's just a small pig.
If you are tempted by a pet pig, you will need to be licensed and adhere to strict regulations, including clearing the exact route of any journey you wish to take with your pet with DEFRA beforehand. So beware of biting off more than you can chew.
They're a complicated animal and they need to be respected for the species that they are.
So you know that if you're going to go and buy a micro pig, it's going to end up the same size
of Rupert.
Absolutely right. It's not something that you're going to keep, you know, in your bedroom, for example.
To keep a pet pig happy, they're best off in pairs with sheltered, draft-free accommodation such as an outdoors pig ark. They like lots of straw, blankets to burrow into, and the occasional toy.
Well, we haven't managed to tempt Rupert with the pig ark. He seems quite happy where he is. So we'll leave him get on with it if he's quite happy with it. And good luck to you and him.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Hope and her owner Lynn were suffering major irritation. The Great Dane's sore eyes and ears, plus constant scratch licking, were put down to a dust mite allergy. And a treatment plan of allergen reduction with desensitising injections was started. 1 month on, and Hope returns to the Pet Shame Clinic.
So the golden question, is Hope scratching as much?
She's definitely not scratching as much as she was before.
So how do you think she looks?
Her whole attitude is different. She's more chilled out, she's more relaxed, she's more rested.
Hope's problem may be microscopic in cause, but this hasn't stopped it leaving the giant hound with big issues.
So this is what a dust mite looks like under the microscope.
So how small would that be in real life?
Well, this here is a hair, so you can imagine how tiny these things actually really are.
So this isn't going to be something that we can completely keep Hope away from?
Absolutely. You can't just exclude them like that, but there are so many measures that you can actually employ to reduce the number in your house.
It's often the faeces of dust mites that cause the biggest problems, with the average mite producing 20 droppings a day. House dust mites thrive in areas where there are dead skin cells. Human mattresses contain up to 10 million of them, and pet bedding is also ridden.
If we got dust mites here, we better keep these away
That's
from
one
Hope.
hell of a dust mite.
Special anti-allergy pet beds like this discourage mites by resisting dirt and dander, as well as being easy to wipe clean. Soft toys can also be full of mites. Putting them in the freezer for 6 hours once a month and then washing will kill the mites and remove allergens. Over 100,000 mites can live in a square metre of carpet, so swap for hard flooring if possible, or use a good quality, high-efficiency vacuum cleaner fitted with an anti-allergy filter on a regular basis.
Well, I'm just really pleased that we've finally discovered what Hope is allergic to. We can't completely and utterly cure it, but at least you know now what you're dealing with.
Carry on the good work, reduce that population of dust mites, which means happier, healthier dog.
Ninja was a one-cat feline fight club. But after a trip to the clinic and input from a cat behaviour advisor, owner Vicky has been learning how to combat Ninja's attacks.
Hello. She's looking quite inquisitive.
The fact that she's poked her head out is amazing.
Yeah.
Last time at the clinic, Vicky feared letting Ninja loose.
Well, hello.
Hello, Ninja.
You going to say hello to us all? I mean, what do you think, Mark? This is just huge.
She's fantastic. Look how relaxed she is.
But the biggest test is how she reacts to being touched.
So, should we stroke her?
Yeah, I think she'd be all right with that.
Oh, she looks like she likes that. Hello. Oh. She wouldn't have let you do this last time, would she?
Not at all, no.
So what difference has this made to your life?
It just makes every day with Ninja happier. So I think it's sort of enriched both of our lives, that we can get along much better now.
Part of Vicky's new plan was to give Ninja toys to satisfy her play-fighting urge. Today, Mark has some words of warning about giving your cat the wrong things to play with.
Balls of string, tinsel, even tape measure, but especially cotton, are and can be lethal to cats. The bit gets tangled at the back of their tongue, and then they sort of keep swallowing, they keep swallowing, they keep swallowing. This stuff goes down into the intestine. The intestine tries to grip itself and causes a condition called intussusception. And intussusception is a surgical emergency. It means the gut, so much, it actually needs to be pulled back on itself and re-straightened.
If your cat has vomiting and dry heaves, blood in faeces, fever and lethargy, it may be suffering from intussusception and needs urgent help. Needles and thread are also potential cat killers.
What happens is the cotton gets stuck on the tiny, tiny hooks on the cat's tongue, and they go, and every time they do that movement, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and soon enough, the needle enters their mouth and gets stuck, usually at the back of their throat, or even gets swallowed, which can cause perforation of the gut.
And kitchen foil can also pose a danger.
It's fun for making little toys, but be wary. If it goes into a little compressed ball and they swallow it, it can actually get stuck.
Good toys offer mental stimulation whilst minimising risk.
What we've got here are toys that are smooth, flashing lights, some make noises, there's no bits that the cat can chew off, there's certainly no stringy bits that can get stuck in their intestine, and you'll have a happier and healthier cat.
And just well done. I mean, I'm so pleased to see that Ninja just seems so much more relaxed and that the trust is building up, and you've done a really good job.
Thank you.
In 4 weeks, the Pet Shame Clinic has armed exasperated owners with the knowledge to transform their troublesome pets into ones they can be proud of. The treatment recommended is specific to each case. If your pet has an embarrassing problem, always seek advice from your vet. Next time on My Pet Shame, a parrot with a potty mouth,
Charlie's swearing,
a cat with a very embarrassing habit, and a dog that's been dealt a bum deal.